17th Chamber. Now the 4 female gatekeepers and the 4 keepers of the keys will spring out of my deepest, most unreachable consciousness, appearing in solid image projection over the form of the beloved. From the east quarter of my deep consciousness, the white-auraed, prodding goddess will transform the beloved into something ferocious. Now the shape shifts again as from the southern quarter. The yellow-auraed goddess descends upon the beloved. From the west, the red aura of the lion goddess alters the face and distorts it horribly. From the north, the green aura of the snake goddess gives a terrifying aspect to the face of the beloved. Quickly I recognize these form changes as just the visual hallucinatory play of my own deep consciousness, and their significance fades away as they dissolve gently into the swirling, patterning shadow show of the empty void. Now, as more female guides overtake the beloved, the face twists and distorts, grimacing menacingly, smiling horribly, a fearful specter of death. I quickly recognize them as manifestations of my own thought forms, and as my vision penetrates through them toward the beloved, the fear-inducing apparitions recede into the void from which they came. The face of the beloved grows grim and grotesque as from the north is evoked the blue-auraed wolf goddess. Then anger swells and the mouth sneers angrily as the red-auraed ibex goddess descends upon the form. Now another grotesquerie, and yet another, disfigures the face of the beloved and turns my heart cold with fear, and brings the fainting weakness of dismay and terror as the black-auraed sow goddess, the red-auraed crow goddess, the giant goddess, and the blue-auraed snake goddess, each momentarily superimpose their horrible visages, dark emotional auras, and chaotic temperament upon the form of the beloved. But all the while I keep myself gentle and receptive, remembering that these wild, chaotic, sinister visions are automatically produced by my own deep consciousness, and through this recognition and acceptance of them as my own, they dissolve immediately into the featureless landscape of the empty void, allowing me to merge into the heart of the beloved. Whereas the friendly guides are the active emanations of the void, reflecting the primordial, unshaped tranquility of the voyager, the unresponsive guides are the passive emanations of the clear light inverting itself within the disruptive electromagnetic field of the time-space discontinuum. And now the unresponsive guides who hunger for worldly existence impose themselves as objects in the surroundings, but I am able to recognize them by their presence and awareness. They watch me and speak silently to me. Bringing my attention to full intensity, I see them clearly, and knowing them to be projections of my own consciousness, I permit them to melt into the featureless void, at the same moment allowing myself to be drawn into the heart of the beloved in the perfect state of at-one-ment, thereby liberating myself from the power of all illusions. My thought forms are exposed as apparitions, yet if I lose the force and intensity of my attention, I allow myself to be overwhelmed by the experience, wandering unknowingly and stripped of my will into the lower dimensions. I now recognize all existence, all phenomena, to be an automatic projection of my own deep consciousness, but I seek redemption now simply by merging with all visions, all apparitions, all radiances into the heart of the beloved. I seek no refuge from the terrifying visions, shapes, sounds, and radiations, knowing and recognizing them as self-projected images, and even as all the guides from all quarters of the labyrinth blend together to form the terrifying apparition of the Lord of Death, I penetrate my vision through my own intricate illusions, recognizing my own thought forms by the use of the art of the invocation of my own presence and attention, and by the power of one sound, I merge with the beloved, attaining spontaneous liberation in the heart of the labyrinth. They come to me now, visions of bitter, hateful, vengeful creatures, snarling and biting with frustration, their glassy, hypnotic stares seeing nothing, their angry ears hearing nothing, eating meat and drinking blood but tasting nothing, their hunger unabated, filling the world with their excrement and repulsive presence. When these thought forms dominate my consciousness, I won't be afraid or overwhelmed by them. The body which I now possess is an immortal body of karmic tendencies, and so is simply a form of accumulated habits acquired in long association with the biological machines in the material worlds. And even though run through with a sword or cut with a razor or chopped to bits, it cannot die. Because my body is in reality a body unborn and uncreated, made up of the voidness, I don't have to be afraid or keep trying to protect it from harm. The shape-shifting forms are hallucinations generated by my own deep consciousness, the stuff of which dreams are made. Voidness cannot destroy voidness, and somewhere beyond the lights, sounds, terrifying forms of the Lord of Death, the Beloved waits for me to overcome my fears, merging in at one mint with no resistance to reality. Knowing this, all terror, fear, and doubt dissolve. I feel relief at recognition of the great truth and thus attain liberation in the supreme moment of self-surrender to the shining luminescence of the void. Wandering in the labyrinth, I have become lost and confused. Uphold me by thy grace, my beloved. I am wandering, lost in the labyrinth. Rescue me. Don't let thy grace forsake me. Through the force of overpowering illusions, on the path of light of the abandonment of fear, anxiety, fright, and being overwhelmed, may the guides lead me. May the goddesses of space and time be my protectors. Save me from the shocking and fearful ambushes of the labyrinth. Help me to regain the power of my presence and attention, so that I may merge with the Beloved and be one with the shining endless void. When wandering alone, separated from my dear friends, when the forms of the voidness of my own thoughts are shining upon me, may the guides exert the force of their grace and help me to be unafraid, without terror or awe, and remain awake in the labyrinth. When the 5 bright lights of wisdom shine upon me here, may recognition come to me without dread and without fear of being overwhelmed. When the divine bodies of the friendly and unresponsive guides shine upon me, may I receive help to remain without fear and to recognize the labyrinth. When the power of karma causes me to seek the refuge of suffering and misery, may the guides dissipate the longing for misery and suffering which has come upon me. When the sound of reality, the objective world sound, reverberates like thunder, may it be transmuted into the sounds of the 6 karma-dissolving syllables. Om, Ma, Me, Teg, Me, Om. May these 6 syllables bring one into the real world and close the portals of rebirth in the lower dimensions. Om, among the gods, Ma, among the angels, Me, among humanity, Teg, among the subhuman, heavy-jawed creatures, Me, among the wandering, insatiable, hungry ghosts in the spirit world, and Om, among the inhabitants of the living hell. When unprotected in the labyrinth, stripped of willpower and forced to follow my karmic tendencies, I invoke the compassionate one of grace to protect me here. When suffering the miseries of karmic habits and automatic mechanicality, may the blissfulness of the clear light dawn upon me. May the 5 elements, the primary light formations, not rise up against me as my enemies, and may I not see them as enemies. May I instead behold the perfect visage of the Beloved, merging into at one-ment with the void, beyond all forms, apparitions, and visions. I offer this attention, concentration, in sincerity and humility. I know all fears and terrors will disappear and liberation will be attained without doubt. This is important to remember and to perform correctly with genuine good wishes and sincerity. The quality of sincereness is the most important factor here. Being undistracted by anything proceeding within me or around me, I concentrate my effort and attention on this concentration, recognizing the Beloved behind the illusion, merging now and in one-ment. I know, I have always somehow known, that just behind even the most solid, implacable form, behind all the attention-demanding events of life, all the grotesque, unsatisfying sexual contortions of matter and energy, somewhere behind that grinding, writhing wall of flesh, that grinning mask of death, if I can only discover the means to dissolve it, to penetrate beyond it, The beloved waits patiently while I grope blindly for the key that opens the door of solid form.